I think they published it as well. We published the disc one.
Ooh, I don't
That's
know.
just
Say
Telltale.
WB?
I don't think so.
I think Telltale published it. I don't know. But EV would be the one I think we would, so they might have done some of the same math stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that WB. Because somebody said that about how screwy they didn't get published Marvel. How Garrett gets to create Marvel Lego.
Oh man, stupid.
With WB and all the association with
Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Bad Gaming Podcast Game of the Year 2012 ceremonies. This is day one, part one of our proceedings here. Of course, I am Brock Morgan. To my left is Alex Lena.
I think it's safe to say I've been waiting at least a year for this.
Somewhere in that vicinity, I think. To Alex's left, immediately across the table from me, Dave Marshall.
Hi.
All right. Good introduction.
That's all I got for now.
To Dave's left, Mr. Zachariah Buzan.
Salutations.
All right. To his left, twin brother Derek Buzan.
Yo, sup?
I'm already thinking.
All right. Hey, we got to paint a good mental image for the listener. And of course, to my right, Derek's left, Isaiah Standridge.
Hello.
He's back for his second Game of the Year process. So this that we've recorded, and he's been with us since the beginning. So should be a lot of fun. All right. This is 2012. We're going to do this a little bit differently than Game of the Half Year, especially when we get down to our actual Game of the Year stuff. However, as we always start, we're going to do our special awards. Starting the special awards today, our nominees for Graphics Technical. These are games that excelled in creating environments or situations that look somewhat realistic or are notable for things like incredible use of processing power. Games that in general look great on a realistic level. We've already come up with our list of nominees, so we don't have to sit around bickering about those for the first 10 minutes every time. So to read you our list, we have Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii, Asura's Wrath, Far Cry 3, Final Fantasy XIII 2, The Witcher 2, Binary Domain, Mass Effect 3, Journey, Halo 4, Forza Horizon, Hitman Absolution, Kid Icarus Uprising, SSX, Transformers Fall of Cybertron, and Dead or Alive 5.
Is there anything we need to add?
Are there any emergency inclusions to the list? Everybody's giving me blank stares.
Revelations, I think. Up to you. Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
Standing up to those big dogs? I don't think so. Noticeable
Okay,
mention.
well, so that is our complete list of nominees for Graphics Technical. Now we start whittling them down. Our goal is to get into one winner and two runners-up for the category. This, of course, encouraging lots of spirited, sometimes straight-out nasty debate, but we'll see how that goes. Is there anything that immediately stands out to us as something that should go on, or is there something that immediately stands out to us as something that we need to get rid of right now?
Dead or Alive 5.
Dead or Alive 5.
Dead or Alive 5. That fighting game is really technical graphically. What other fighting game can you turn on or off sweating and dirt on your characters as you fight?
That is pretty technically impressive.
I was impressed by
Sweaty
sweat
clothes.
in NBA 2K10. I am no longer impressed by sweat or lack thereof. So I would agree with Alex. I don't think it has a shot to be our top 3. Do you see Dead or Alive 5 in the top three in Graphics Technical this year?
Not gonna happen.
Maybe not.
No. There are 15 nominees.
Yeah.
15.
It's not. I don't see it making top 3. I'm sorry, Zach, but I think everybody okay. Are we striking? Yeah, we're striking Dead or Alive 5. Okay. All right. 14 nominees left.
Xenoblade probably
I agree.
next.
Yeah, it's great for the Wii,
Yeah, but
Gotta love the call.
yeah.
For the Wii.
Yeah, but they qualified.
I was impressed by its
even
draw
HD.
distance for
It
one.
does have
Actually,
very good
its draw distance is not seen in that at that level on the Wii very often. And there's a good amount of detail and some great looking environments that you can literally just walk all the way to from long distances. You can see it the entire way. It is impressive in that respect.
It's huge.
Yeah, and just the fact that you're running along giant mechs and just seeing the other parts of the other mechs that you're on is quite impressive. But
They're gods. They're mechs.
Well, the Mechonis.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
more
Oh my
Mechonis.
gosh, I was like, oh my goodness.
Bionis is almost more like Titan, but yes. But, yeah.
all right. 13 nominees left.
Dead or Alive 5. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. 13 Whatever.
All right. So Xenoblade Chronicles is gone.
Final Fantasy 13 too. Looks awesome, but it's Final Fantasy 13.
That
It's
doesn't stop it
beautiful.
from being a nominee for graphics
Not
technical.
being the
It
best of the year.
I agree it's not in my top 5, but it is good looking.
Take that, Square Enix. You've been doing graphics so well for so long that it no longer counts for anything.
Exactly. Who cares about you being
That's
awesome
actually
looking?
that's actually a really interesting.
Should look in Square games and talk about Hitman Absolution.
Yeah, that Hitman Absolution is much higher on my list than that. So I guess I would be all right with that.
Anyway.
All right. So Final Fantasy 13 2, nobody's arguing. We're going. Okay. Narrowing it down.
How about the Binary?
I have Binary in my. It's not in my top 3, but it's in my top 5. I was very impressed with some of the way some of those things look. I will agree it's not overall the best looking, but there are some things it does extremely well.
Rain.
Yeah.
Does it look better than SSX?
I personally would lean more artistically on SSX,
Okay.
but that's just me. So I would say yes in that respect, but
Alright.
SSX does look really good.
I'm just thinking Kid Icarus, maybe? It's more artsy.
And that's
I-
another like qualifier too, and like awesome
Yeah.
for
Yeah, we might as well say
3DS.
it, I guess.
But
I know it's awesome on the 3DS.
It's
it is
not
great.
really bad.
It is great looking for sure.
Alright, we'll strike Kid Icky.
Kid Icarus Uprising is off the list.
Squeaky.
I'd say Journey is probably another one that's more artistic than technical achievement.
It's
I would
pretty.
agree.
The sand is awesome though. Aw.
Okay, fine.
It's technical though. Aw.
It's it's
Like if you're going to go with that, and then Azura's Wrath is also out of there also.
I think Asura's Wrath is strictly artistic.
Yeah.
It's really
make
comic
make a
book.
case. Like, I'm not
Really comic
I'm not
book.
trying to push it up. Just make a case.
Well, cases like Journey and Asura's Wrath, where best looking game definitely is a better category than
Mhm.
technical.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
We could have 3. We could have.
We
all
could have 3.
We could have all 3.
We could do it.
This is our process. We can do this.
Combine the two.
And
We'll
there's
cross that
definitely a
bridge
lot
in
of
two
tech
categories.
powering Asura's Wrath. I mean, there's no doubt you don't get that good looking of cell shaded, like with
True.
all the lines and all the filters that go into it without serious tech behind it, for sure.
Definitely. And that's an Unreal Engine game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
They did awesome. with
Crazy.
that.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Heavy
I'd
modifiers.
forgotten about that. Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Pretty
CyberConnect
impressive.
2 did well.
It's pretty. I think it looks.
I think it looks
Yeah.
amazing. I think
That's not
it's
a debate.
I think it's the second. I think it's the second best looking game of the year.
It is up there.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Chew on that.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm always going to favor artistic over technical. That's me. That's more impressive to me is impressive art styles and stuff like that. So that's
Alright, as long as we get to talk about Journey and Asura's Wrath next. and then-
darn right we will. So yeah, we're going to strike Asura's Wrath and Journey from the technical category, leaving those to be decided on later.
I'd say Transformers. It does look phenomenal on PC. So good, but overall, it's just kind of like a.
It's kind of like the sub.
Little, I mean, it's above average graphics, I'd say, but it's not
It's-
the best of the entire year.
It's definitely up there. And if we had a Skyboxes of the Year category, it's up there.
There's a lot going on.
Yep.
Yeah,
It looks
oh,
it does
holy
look
crap.
really good.
There's
Like
so much going on
Yeah.
in the background.
Dude, seeing
everywhere.
Metroplex move as he's coming in to smash Megatron at the beginning of that game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how
So
cool
good.
was that?
Do we all think Halo 4 is going to be a top 3 game?
Yeah.
Any-
Yep.
any-
Yes.
I agree. Any- How the other guys?
They look pretty.
I'll say I really like the cutscenes. The cutscenes looked really well. Same with like.
Yeah, I mean, they did look almost photo.
We're talking best cutscenes.
Who was that?
But, I mean,
Well,
still,
actually,
that's
three.
part of it. though.
I really love Halo 4, but I'm not even gonna I don't like. If we were gonna consider cutscenes, then there are a lot of games on this list that we'd have to throw in.
Maybe
We'd
add
probably throw out.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if cutscenes mattered, Diablo 3 would probably win this category, and Hitman Absolution would drop out of it completely.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Because
Those
those
are all in
cutscenes look bad,
They're all in
Yeah.
just bad.
What, Hitman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
The character models, the faces especially, look bad.
Right,
They
they did
just
really well on
don't
textures,
look
though. Textures
Wow.
they did great on.
The textures are great, but the actual models, I thought, in a lot of cases, were downright ugly. Maybe that's what they were going for, and really stiff and plasticky, especially Agent 47 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
47?
Don't doubt
Yeah,
yourself.
it's
Okay,
47.
hey, that's good. Okay, all right. His face looks like it was molded out of
I think
plastic.
it was double.
James Bond.
But yeah, so I don't think we should weigh cutscenes too much personally. But I thought Halo 4 looked fantastic in game.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Nice. Do you guys think it's top 3?
I do.
I do.
Yes.
I have
Absolutely.
no right to.
I am so surprised.
It's
Halo is
any-
actually.
Let me drop another level of that on you. It's my winner for graphics technical.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness
Personal winner for
gracious.
graphics technical.
I haven't even seen it.
If I would have considered Oscar a technical, it would be my winner. But it's not. So
It's not.
I personally Halo 4 is a win for me. But
So we're getting rid of
I don't want to get rid
Transformers
of
out.
yeah, I think we can get rid of
Transformers out,
Transformers.
yeah.
Can we get rid of SSX?
I'm for that.
Yeah.
The lighting's excellent, but otherwise,
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. SSX is gone.
Still don't think binary's good looking as good looking as some of the others.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, yeah, now that we're getting down to this, like, I mean, binary is really good looking, but it's, if I'm going to fight for my top 3, that's not in it.
Alright.
So,
See it?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, binary domain is.
How many are committed to having Mass Effect 3? It looked awesome, but I'm gonna kind of put that with Transformers, and that was awesome because of everything that was going on. Like Skybox is great, but I don't know, like the faces,
You played that
everything on
game on
that's still
PC?
great. Mass Effect? No,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, okay.
Xbox.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, in my opinion, it looks downright bad on PC.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I brought this up at half year,
That's
actually.
interesting.
It actually, I think, looks markedly worse, at least on the rig that I watched it being run on, but it did not. And it's a very powerful rig. It was not impressive. At least like what you're talking about, the faces, your dialogue options and things. It almost looked cartoony. I don't know what it was. But
Oh yeah, we need to maybe reiterate this earlier. We were counting The Witcher 2 as a game of 2012 because almost none of us have played it in 2011, and it was released on 360 this year.
As more of us have more access to consoles than PC, that is the logical time for us to consider it.
Witcher 2 is 2012 for us.
Yes.
Which looks
Good. I'm glad you remembered that.
Probably top 3.
I disagree, but okay.
No,
360.
top 3, yeah.
But I played it on PC. So that's a hard fight.
Could we say though that you bought a PC to play The Witcher?
That is safe. So,
Okay. Okay.
We're down to 5.
We're down to 5. That's good. We're making progress.
Pretty-
Actually, we're down to 6.
That's a lot.
What did I miss?
Forza Horizon.
Far Cry 3, The Witcher 2, Mass Effect 3, Halo 4, Forza Horizon, Hitman Absolution.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have a feeling Forza Horizon isn't going to get anywhere on this list. I do think it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does.
It is
yeah.
a beautiful game.
Car games always look good.
Our games always look
Almost always a good.
Almost.
I wasn't disappointed.
well for part of me. Very rare for them to not.
It's true. It's, yeah.
So,
It's Forza Horizon is the one on here that isn't in my top 5. Oh wait, no, it's one of the 2. Wait. Oh yeah, we already have binary. So, are we getting rid of Forza?
I'm okay with it. I didn't play it.
Yeah, me neither.
I
I
guess
say
yeah,
we're
go
letting
It looks really, really, really good. I think Dave and I will both attest that it is.
Did you
it
guys
is
play Need for
fantastic
Speed
looking.
Most Wanted?
I don't think any of us
So this ended a version of that looked better.
It might
It's
have.
like the Frostbite 2 engine. I'm way using.
It may have looked better.
All right, I guess it's gone.
So we're down to Far Cry 3, The Witcher 2, Mass Effect 3, Halo 4, and Hitman Absolution. 4 of my top 5, so that's good. All right.
I
Any of
haven't
those I
played
played
Hitman.
are on Far Cry.
I haven't even really seen Hitman that much.
Hitman in action looks amazing.
Especially with all the environment going around.
It's so
many people. So
yeah,
many
that's
actions.
and I think that really speaks. Like that's part of technical as well. Like it is rendering so many people doing individual things at the same time. Like it's
Oh yeah,
Pretty flawless,
it's
too.
it's impressive in the way that like the original Dead Rising impressed you for the number of zombies it was able to put on screen. But it takes that idea so much further, and that they're all milling about doing a bunch of individual things.
And as Derek tested, you can kill them.
You can kill
Yeah,
them all.
sure.
They animate dead.
They animate. Yeah.
They will allow you.
So I would keep Hitman. I would keep Halo 4. I would keep Mass Effect. It's down to Far Cry 3 and The Witcher 2 for me as to what to get rid of, or both.
Would probably vote for Far Cry 3.
Really?
I will
Hitman.
disclaimer. I have not even seen Far Cry 3 in action.
Think of Far Cry 2, but like triple the awesomeness of the island. Because you get animals now, you get sun. I don't know. Do they get sunsets now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah, there's a- yeah.
Okay, good. So-
Crazy weather.
But it looks beautiful.
What do you think, Dave?
You get
How's
water
Far
and
Cry 3 look?
everything.
Far Cry 3 is it's top 3 for me. That's for sure. It's beautiful.
What do we get rid of?
Because we're counting The Witcher 2 as a 360 game this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Ugh.
Witcher 2 on Xbox didn't look as nearly as impressive
Yeah,
on
I
PC.
was like, oh man.
I was struggling to. I was kind of wondering. It's like, okay, when is this going to get amazing? Like that intro cutscene where you watch that King being assassinated
It's like
is
the Crisis 2.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Looked
Huh?
amazing.
I say it's like that sounds just like me with Crisis 2 last year.
Crisis 2 looked great on
I
the
think
360.
Crisis 2 on 360 maybe it's easily up there, and it may be the best technical game I've ever played.
It looks great.
That's last year. Was keep going with it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cross out The Witcher 2 on 360.
They do. The faces do look great and animate extremely well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sure.
It's my number 4.
Oh, I can't
And
remember.
yeah, it's my number 4. I have it up there.
Alright.
Far Cry 3, Mass Effect 3, Halo 4, Hitman Absolution. Which one doesn't make our top 3?
I think Far Cry 3 would make a lot more sense to keep than Mass Effect 3.
It's so weird. Like, I don't know. I just listened to our half-year stuff. Like, you were so high on the way for Mass Effect 3. You're like, this looks absolutely amazing. If anything
Maybe
beats
it's
it, I'll
been
be
too long.
astounded.
He was
Like,
playing.
But
at
you
the
were also
time.
playing it
Sure.
at the time.
And if you
And,
look back,
and Far Cry 3 wasn't out yet.
yeah.
No one's played on PC though.
Or Halo 4.
Or Halo. Yeah,
Or Hitman as
Or
well.
Hitman. All these games.
I don't know. I think Halo 4 definitely stays. I think Absolution stays. The other two, I think Mass Effect stays over Far Cry, but that may just be because I haven't seen Far Cry.
I guess technically, since we're talking technical stuff, Far Cry 3, just as in the nature of an open world and how good it looks, makes it somewhat more impressive than Mass Effect 3's more linear approach. I don't know if that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Open worlds usually look less
Unless it's just
popular.
costume.
Yeah.
The,
Exactly.
the faces are great in Far Cry.
All the emotions they can capture with it. Crazy dude, I don't forget his name.
Foss.
Oh man. He's
As we
awesome.
go with most graphics, Mass Effect 3 is obviously have a lot more faces than would Far Cry.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
has like 10.
Sounds like a discussion from like 1986. Most graphics.
The most graphics.
Most graphics.
Super hexagon.
Done.
Most graphics.
Done. Super Hexagon emergency write-in for graphics section.
Alright.
No
discussions, that's
Yeah.
it. Write it down.
So which one?
Do we take it to a vote? Far Cry or
We're,
Mass
we're,
Effect?
I don't know if we take it to a vote, but we'll see. We can see where everybody's leaning, and then see if there's still a fight to be had.
I think Mass Effect 3 looks better, but I'm totally okay with Far Cry 3. The internet's on 3.
Okay, Dave, which one stays?
Far Cry 3 impressed me more.
Okay, Zach.
The same. Far Cry 3 stays.
Far Cry 3.
Okay.
Far Cry
Okay,
3.
I lose. All right, I will take the 5-1 defeat, and we'll get rid of Mass Effect 3. Far Cry 3, Halo 4, and Hitman Absolution. Our top 3. Gentlemen, what wins?
My vote's Halo 4.
Halo 4. Wow, I did not expect to agree with you all.
Wow.
I'm very happy.
Well, Oscar was my winner. Journey was in my top 5. So, so what's left? We covered Kid Icarus really fast, and Witcher 2 is not looking as good on 360. So that leaves Halo 4 as the only game in my top 5.
Halo's my number 1, Hitman's my number 2. So this is working out.
Hitman's my number 3.
Okay.
So I'm going to stick with Hitman Absolution because the game works beautifully, no lag so far throughout all the graphics.
Cheers, birdie.
Yeah.
No glitches.
No glitches like Assassin's Creed 3, no. It runs smoothly.
Yeah, Hitman Absolution is my vote too. Because all of the faces in the crowds are unique faces.
Really? I see. Cool.
Yeah. They don't recycle
Derek, is that?
facial models.
I'm gonna go with Halo 4.
I'm voting for Halo.
All right.
Or against
4.
2.
That's, well, and again, this is always a peaceful process and not a direct democracy. So
Peaceful.
Peaceful, yeah.
none of us have struck anyone else yet. So
Yeah.
this,
Thou
in-
to.
Not
Thou
yet.
to.
in- this is our
Even
5th
for
year.
Halo,
Like
yeah.
this is
Uh-huh.
no, yeah, this is our 5th year doing it. Nobody, it's never come to blows. So that's good.
Peaceful, he says, but nobody can see the knife on the table.
Hey, this is, we don't want to tell everybody about everything. We're not an open book. So yeah, Halo 4 I thought was extremely impressive. It's got that Halo level of like polish and sheen to the levels, which I think, I mean, just in the fact that that 343 had to completely rebuild the engine they were using, that Bungie was using. They had to take that over, completely do it themselves. It still looks like a Halo game, but it looks unbelievably good. Varied environments, I would say more so than previous games.
Yes.
The skyboxes are outstanding. The cutscenes look absolutely great. The enemy design is fantastic, and the way that the Prometheans look, while looking almost we're not talking about most varied enemy design,
Okay.
but they all look amazing, even though they are inspired by Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
Bionicles.
Yeah,
Oh
Metroid
my
Prime.
gosh, they do have Bionicles. I never
Yeah.
thought about
I mean,
it.
we can all
But
go
it's-
back to how Halo Master Chief even
Oh yeah.
somewhat resembles Samus.
Yep. But it's, I mean, all of those influencers are there. It works extraordinarily well all together, and the game is just absolutely fantastic looking. Hitman does some really impressive things on a technical level. I don't know if I would say it's as good looking as Halo 4, but that's kind of a different argument. But I think what 343 had to turn around and do with Halo 4 was extremely impressive, and that game looks incredible.
I suppose I find Hitman more impressive just in what it does pull off without problems technically, but I still think Halo looked better. So that'd be my vote, but I haven't seen Far Cry 3 on PC.
I just didn't hear about how much you can like push that game. Like, there's so many options. I mean, I'm not I haven't seen it on PC either. Although I'll probably be changing that for this.
All right. So, are we in agreement then that?
And for Halo.
Yep, Halo 4.
Sounds like it.
Winner this year of Graphical Technical.
Yay.
All right. Our graphics technical winner, as Zach said, is Halo 4. Our runners-up, Hitman Absolution and Far Cry 3.
Moving on to graphics artistic, where I think we also have 15 nominees.
So yeah, let's see. Should we pause it and get these ready?
15. Sure.
All right, so our nominees for graphics artistic this time around, we have Journey, Xenoblade Chronicles, Asura's Wrath, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Lollipop Chainsaw, Gravity Rush, Persona 4 Arena, The Darkness 2, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, Dust and Elysian Tale, Closure, Fez, Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask, The Unfinished Swan, and The Walking Dead. There's our list.
15.
A list of 15. Closure is leaving because nobody's playing it. I wanted to mention it because that game does look really good in that nice black and white aesthetic that probably too many indie games are trying to do. And it does it better than Limbo because that game looked like RPG. So
I love Limbo.
everything about that game was bland. Gameplay, look, sound. Sound was really Yeah.
It was a good adventure.
I just think Limbo gets way too much praise. Anyway, that's like 3 years ago. Okay. We got 14 left.
I just wanted to know how awesome Miracle Mass looks.
Yeah.
The 3D to those cutscenes is awesome. And they did also do 3D monitors, or 3D models for the characters, which is a big help as well. But I don't think it's going to be top 3.
Okay. I think we can all agree with that sentiment. It did look very good. Those 3D models did look absolutely great. All right, Lollipop needs to go.
Already?
Yeah.
Already,
Yes,
Zombies and
I mean,
Rainbows.
I mean, it may not be the 13th best, but it's not top 3.
I can't argue against it.
Nope,
Me
cannot.
neither.
Okay, it's gone.
I'm gonna say also bring up Gravity Rush.
That's a great looking PS2 game, man.
Oh, it's so
It does. Yes, it does.
PS2?
It does. It's. I was being
PS2
sorry.
engine.
I was.
Oh, gotcha.
You want to say something about Gravity Rush?
Yeah, Gravity Rush. It looks great. Artistically, they went for more of an anime kind of feel. However, I felt the environments were very bland. They kind of stuck with the same like stone walls and kind of dirty city.
But it's
It is pretty on the Vita, yes. And if we're doing for like the Vita, I would probably nominate it for top 5.
Okay. Anyone else? Isaiah, you played some Gravity Rush?
Yeah, it looks really nice.
It
I'm
is.
kind of
Top
disappointed
3.
by the really
Top
dusty
5.
environment. So I don't know. I agree. Like the environments did seem really bland, but the art looks great. But I don't know. I definitely don't think it's going to be top 3.
Okay. Well, we'll hang on to it for now, I guess. Yeah.
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Kingdoms of Amalur looks really, really awesome. Like, I wish we had that game makes me wish we had a best art direction category.
Yeah.
Because, man, like, I did not play that game for very long, but I stopped several times just to stop and look at the amazing environments in that game.
It's top 3 for me.
Moment to moment, it may not look absolutely amazing, but the settings that you're in and some of the way things look in that game, especially the environments, are jaw-dropping at times.
It can take your breath away. That's
Yep.
for sure.
And would make the same argument for Xenoblade Chronicles. Very similar. And kind of what Brock was talking about with the draw distance. You get to see all that art. And the enemy design in Xenoblade is very good as well. And very, very good.
That it is.
I guess I didn't make it far enough in Kingdoms of Amalur to see all those different environments, but to me the art looked exactly pulled from World of Warcraft. So much of it felt like
It's definitely got a
the
fake
races.
look to it.
It looked so much like World of
It's-
Warcraft.
I think there's
Yeah,
always-
it's unfair. Like, I think that's in a way unfair because World of Warcraft looks like a brightly colored fantasy setting. And there's now so much World of Warcraft that any other brightly colored fantasy setting is going to look like it resembles parts of World of Warcraft. Like, that game has so much content and parts of it look so different from the other that it's impossible not to point to it and say, hey, this looks like this game.
And there's
This
excellence
is-
in color.
I've actually, I mean, I'm not trying to say anything negative about World of Warcraft. I've watched some of it, I've played some of it. It is what it is. But I don't feel like, I feel like it's kind of monopolized colorful fantasy settings. And I'm just afraid that dinging it for looking similar to something that's in World of Warcraft might be a little unfair.
I think we can come back to that one too.
Okay.
So, The Walking Dead and The Darkness 2. Where are we at with those?
Darkness 2.
The Darkness 2 wins over The Walking Dead.
I would
Absolutely it
Yes.
does. Absolutely.
Yes.
You may be the only person at the table with that
I
opinion.
hate the Darkness 2 graphic.
How?
But it's like the exact same. I mean, Borderlands 2 isn't on here, but again, if it was, I'd say those 3.
Yeah, cell shaded.
It's true. I actually don't think either make top 3.
Neither do I, especially Darkness 2 and Walking Dead.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be top 3.
The Darkness 2
Fantastic
was
game.
probably my number 4, probably by virtue of me just having beaten it yesterday. But it's, I mean, I think it's The Darkness 2 way over The Walking Dead, but neither of them are top 3.
You good with getting rid of both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do really like that direction of art. I just don't think it's one of the best.
Yeah. And Borderlands might do it better than both.
No, I don't know. I guess I'd say with Dark
It has
Souls 3.
it has the benefit of a much larger amount of polish and time. That's
In comparison to the first game.
Yes.
Oh my word, yeah.
Yeah.
Leaps and bounds.
all right.
How long you gonna fight for Fez, bro?
No, I'm not.
You're not gonna fight
Gone.
Fez?
Man, I was gonna bring that up, but I was scared to.
No, it's okay. Nope.
I was like,
Okay,
it's
let's do
good
it.
pixel art, but
It's really good pixel art, but pixel art's been done for 30 years, and it's not as hard to make something that looks great in pixel art as it is to make something that looks as amazing as Journey or Asura's Wrath. It's I love the look of Fez, but it's not. It doesn't hold up to something with as much care and love and work as Journey and Asura's Wrath. Maybe considerably.
I think the next one's gotta be Street Fighter Cross, I think. Although it is really good looking.
It is really good looking. Yeah, and
Yeah,
if we had a best cutscenes category, Street Fighter Cross Tekken would be in there.
I was like,
Alright.
open.
Oh my goodness.
The opening,
Oh,
the
yes.
opening was
Yeah, if you
cool.
look at the opening to that, holy crap.
I haven't seen it. I don't know how to say it.
Is the unfinished Spawn going to be top 3?
No.
I would
But it
think
looks
so.
like Winnie
I
the
like
Pooh. It's so fun.
It's so childish and
So
nice
I made a
looking,
video.
but
Okay.
it's
Yeah, I
really
guess
not that
I probably haven't seen
complicated.
it.
It's really not really art.
I saw most of it was white on white.
It is
White
white
on
on
white.
That's
white.
why it's awesome. But I
And then
didn't
the
get
second-
nominated for Best Artistic.
Well, they change it up every 4 chapters.
I'm about to say.
They do
and
change it up quite a bit.
Also, you make the art. You can splatter that chair differently every
It's Best Artistic.
That's right. I am the artist.
We had a best artist category. Us.
So,
Gave us the paintbrush.
Well, see, in that, if that's the case, then it shouldn't even be nominated for graphics artistic because
There are
then
none.
the developers aren't even
There
trying.
you do it yourself.
They're like, you're gonna make the graphics yourself.
I think we'll talk about unfinished one.
Okay.
Yeah, just-
So we're cutting it here.
Yeah, it's.
Get it out of here.
It is cut. We're down to and then there were 7. The Magnificent 7.
Yeah,
The Fellowship.
Dust. What's
Dust is
Dust,
so pretty.
I'll just drop it. Dust is my winner here.
really?
What?
Me too, actually.
What?
It's one of my.
What?
It's
It's
my
like-
top 2.
It's like
What?
Rescue
Check it.
Rangers.
Oh, I'm
Shit.
not. I'm, that's.
Whoa.
Dust
Dude.
has one for me as well. It's so pretty.
I might even say it's the best looking game here.
Just animation, it's fluid.
I can back
The
that
colors
up.
are vibrant.
Actually,
Gorgeous.
I will vote with you.
Brock is.
I did not
Astonished.
I did not expect to have to fight this category very hard, but apparently I have to.
Sorry, Brock.
Dust
gotta
is
come at you, bro.
beautiful.
I'm telling you, should have had Journey and Asura and Tech.
That's okay. I'll fight tooth and nail for it. Journey's the best looking video game ever made, let alone of this year.
Mm.
It's very good looking.
Yep.
It'll probably be in my top.
It is the best looking game ever made.
It's the best looking interactive cutscene ever made.
Yeah. Okay. We're not talking about
Also, we're
Asura.
getting off.
That is
Say,
us.
we're not gonna get. Asura's Wrath is in that category.
Journey's the best looking screensaver ever made.
Are we down to
This
7?
isn't best looking. I mean, this isn't like graphics. Like this isn't a debate about how much of a game something is because that's a dumb debate anyway. But come on. like,
Artistic, yeah.
I know you played it. Like you can't deny the Journey looks fantastic.
Oh, it's pretty. It's beautiful.
Are we getting ready to Gravity Rush at this point?
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of Gravity Rush.
And Persona 4 Arena.
And,
It looks just like Blaze Blue.
It looks like
It's
Blaze
anime.
Blue and Persona 4 had a baby, and it's Persona 4 Arena.
which
That's awesome.
It's like-
That's awesome. But
That's the
I mean,
best
that's
child
not-
ever.
that's- I mean,
I'd say get rid of Xenoblade and
Yep.
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Yep.
Yep.
So let's get rid of those. Are we okay with getting rid of Xenoblade?
I'm okay with getting rid of Xenoblade. I don't know
And
about
Amalur.
more.
Get rid of Xenoblade. Amular's my number 2.
Oh, okay, leave them alone.
Oh, holy crap! How did Tales of Grace's F not make its way into this
It did make my
category?
top 5.
Didn't make my top
It made
five.
it was my number 3.
Oh,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I only watched it for about an hour, maybe
Aw.
less than an hour.
Honorable mention.
I've seen so many
Fine.
JRPGs.
I mean, it's going to get stomped by Ni no Kuni, which comes out
Oh
this year.
my gosh.
That game,
Yes.
Tales of Grace's F, still looks awesome.
It does, certainly.
So, okay. At least I mentioned it. Tales of Grace's F looks gorgeous. Play that game. Okay.
And take it off the list.
Xenoblade's gone. Yeah, and now it's gone. Okay.
Again. At this point, yeah, I get it. It's pretty high up there for me, but
I mean, that game looks. I love the way that game looks. I love it. I'd rather get rid of Dust though. But
Yeah.
no.
You've played Dust, right?
no.
Oh, you don't know.
I've watched some, but I
Okay.
haven't played it.
I played it, didn't I? That counts.
Are we okay with the
Alright.
top three of Journey, Asura's Wrath, and Dust?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd prefer Amalur over Journey, honestly. That's me.
The
'Cause
sand-
it's-
the sand slide.
I actually
If
have,
I
It's so
made-
technically impressive.
No, it's,
The sand. Oh.
actually Journey's my number one.
there we go.
Beautiful
That's what I'm
game.
talking
It's
about.
sand and snow. There's no diversity.
It's sand and snow, yeah.
There's some
Almo.
Okay.
And a cave.
And rocks. Rocks.
There's some else.
Sand, rocks.
But
It's
it
not.
says
We're not
something-
most diverse graphics.
yeah, it says something that they made a
Graphics
game
artistic.
without any words, without anything. They just made a character that made both
considered it
sounds.
like that game is almost like a lot of that game is its art and the way it looks.
Yep.
And that's it's art and the way you interact with other people, which is why if I would love to have you play that game again, Connect to the End. That game is the way it looks, the way the movement feels, and the way you interact with other strangers online. That is all that game is. It is three things. It does all
What
three
they
of those
did-
things completely perfectly.
What they did very, very well, yes. But I feel like,
Gabe says like they did it.
yeah.
That's I
They
respect
will.
I respect that. That's fine. I can respect that. It's just I feel that it does what it does better than any other game this year.
It sounds like Arena's gone.
Yeah, that's a great looking game. Though.
Yes, it is.
I need more time to say if it's a role playing game.
It is.
Oh,
It's pretty
dude.
tough, yeah.
It's deep.
It's
deep.
Which is exactly why I don't know if I can
I
say I
think
like playing it.
One character was slamming on all the attack buttons and wasn't even attacking.
You cannot match.
Exactly.
And
no, there's
she's
no.
just like,
Yep. I've had that problem.
Which is exactly why I can't play the game.
Why are you doing it?
All right, and then number 4.
I've had that problem.
Journey, Asura's Wrath, Kingdom of Amalur's Reckoning, Dust, and Elysian Tale.
I know I'm fighting a losing battle here, though. So
Would anyone else vote? I mean, is anyone with Dave in that? Because I would say Journey.
I doubt it.
Journey over Amalur, certainly.
So-
I would concur, yeah.
Well, Journey's is number one, so.
Yeah, it is my number one. I would
We
say
get a
yes.
cross table high five?
All right, there
That's
you
all
go.
right. I mean, out of these three, I'd keep those three. I'd get rid of Dust, but. What
Say
does
Asura
that
was my
game
second.
do better than other games like it have done? Like, you say that game is better than like Muramasa? Like,
Animation
Really?
is so
Yeah.
fluid in what they do with it.
It's just
great.
so
Animation
incredibly
is
sharp.
exactly a product of technical. So great. We'll
I know,
go
but the
back and put
animation
Dust in
with
technical and then
that-
it
The
loses.
animation of the art.
So
The animation of the
And
art
each-
is just so
all the
fluid.
different areas.
you like
I heard one person describe it as each area looks better than the previous, and it just continues
Yeah.
to impress.
platformer brawler.
It's like you're like a fox, blue fox. I don't know who Lucario looks
Okay.
like.
Let me put it this way. You know how I feel about side-scrolling 2D?
Yep.
I don't play them.
Yeah.
Period. I could not put Dust down. The thing that was driving me was the visuals.
It's
Okay.
I couldn't put it down, and I hate genres like that.
I am not trying to say in any way that Dust is a bad-looking game. I was thoroughly unimpressed.
The
but that's
graphics,
just-
the graphics were enough
really good.
to overcome
Well, you don't play
a
it, man.
dislike for the genre of the game that I've had for years. That's just how impressive it was to me.
So, the first game we agreed that our top 3 are Journey, Asura's Wrath, and Dust.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I suppose.
Abstain.
That's right.
Actually, don't exacerbate things.
It's
I
okay.
said I
I d-
abstain. It's the same as
So,
I lose.
yeah, we have a top 3.
Oh. Dust is still there,
I
though.
vote Dust.
Dust is still there.
I vote Dust.
Okay, let's go around the table. Dust, Journey. I
Journey,
presume.
yeah.
Zach, when did you see Journey?
Azura's Wrath.
When Derek's playing it.
Bam.
Okay, Isaiah.
I was just going to say Azura's Wrath.
Yeah!
Azura's Wrath.
2v2v2.
And Journey.
Completely
An unprecedented turn of events in our game of the year.
Tables have turned.
Dang.
I would say Asura's Wrath of Journey.
I was second.
Oh.
I was
Just
going to
joking.
go nuts.
I just wanted to see what you would do.
I may have fallen out of my chair.
Mother trucker.
Oh boy.
I just explained
Okay.
my stance on Journey, so I'd go Azure over Journey.
I have nothing but respect for what you're saying. Journey is magical in the way that it looks. It's, man. I've never, I may go back on saying Journey's the best looking game ever, but I will say that the Sandslide part is the best looking part of a game I've ever seen.
It's pretty cool.
It's, that whole section is unbelievable, and I really wanted to play it again.
It's like
or
playing it.
I may try to play it tonight again. but-
I would love
If I
to
get
see
the
it.
opportunity.
Good luck.
Oh crap!
Have you not seen it?
Oh.
Oh my god.
I haven't played it.
Oh my
No.
god.
Yep, which is going to make certain things later on really tough.
But there are very few games all of us have played.
True.
But there are a lot of games that some of us have, that a good number of us have played, which is good. Anyway. 2v2v2.
Okay. I don't know how to proceed.
This is unprecedented.
Happy fun time.
Nope, there is no happy fun time game here.
Now is when that knife comes in handy.
Yep.
Or
I gotta pick it up.
Three. Random.
D6, 1, 2, Dust. 3, 4,
Oh.
5, 6.
Defeats the purpose.
It sure does.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay, alright. Here's my problem with Asura's Wrath. A lot of that game looks amazing. The character models are amazing. Like, a lot of the things that the characters do are amazing. The environments, everything like that, are strictly lacking. Like, the art on that game, as amazing as 2/3 of it is, the remaining third looks so standard and so meh that that's why I feel it doesn't.
Then
That's
there's
why
the last
Journey's
quarter.
above it. That's why I feel Journey's above it. Like, yeah, the last quarter looks unbelievable.
Nobody's seen the last quarter except someone who's played the true ending.
You're talking about the true ending, correct? Oh. Well, okay, which doesn't
Last
count
bit.
because we've
No,
outlawed DLC
I-
endings
DLC.
and stuff. Yeah,
I don't know
we've talked about in the past when it's come to weighing in some DLC to stuff. We've said what's in the core game and that's it.
If it didn't come out that year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Stop making sense.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, a lot of Asura looks fantastic, which is why it's my number 2.
We got through the other games.
But it's like, if I'm going to compare it to Journey and what is apparently to two of you this unassailable behemoth that is Dust, that's why I feel like, I don't know,
Let's get some other opinions in here, Zach.
please, I don't know what to say anymore.
Artistic graphics, go.
I haven't seen Dust at all.
Journey is awesome. I really do like Journey.
Yes.
It was really artistic, but it just it doesn't stand out as like a huge new form of art. Like it's not crazily new artistic. It's not something new that we've seen. Azura's Wrath is an extreme anime feel, so I guess I'm ruining my whole picture here on Azura's and going to Dust actually. But Azura is a super long game of
What?
complete. It's like 8 hours, isn't it?
No.
With the DLC.
With the DLC? With
No,
the DLC.
it's like 6 at best.
Okay, it's longer than Journey. All right.
Yes.
There you go.
The art to Azura's Wrath it's from its extremity and kind of like a comic book / manga feel of it. The textures are completely different. I was trying to pick.
It's almost as though it's clay. Like it almost looks
almost
like clay.
Yeah.
And the lines. I mean, it looks like someone took a small rake,
Brush, yeah.
like a brush, and it looks like brush.
It's
sculpted
ridiculous
clay.
looking. That would be
It looks
horrible to texturize and
Oh,
map
goodness,
onto a
it'd be
character.
terrible.
I would think. But they pull it off really well, and every scene is pretty freaking BA, I think. Dust is it's not completely new, but it is a unique art form.
I get, man, maybe I just apparently did not see the parts of the game that you're talking about, because everything it looked, yeah, it animated well, but it looked generic almost. I mean, like, I don't want to say it didn't look good, but it didn't look original. It didn't look like nobody had tried that before. It looked good for what it did, but it didn't look like some groundbreaking new art direction or something completely unique and different. It looked really good, but it didn't look different.
That was my exact argument against Journey.
I think Journey does look different. What game looks like Journey? Nothing looks like Journey.
Star Wars Episode 4. Tatooine.
I was gonna say Uncharted.
I'm not even gonna
Uncharted
respond.
3. The Dust.
I know it's a movie. I was just making a joke.
That does not look like Journey.
Especially in the aforementioned sand sliding scene, it felt like playing a Pixar movie, which is pretty awesome.
Which is pretty
It's a
sweet.
good
That's
analogy.
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's just.
And it looked better than anything Pixar. Boom.
Oh, man.
Really?
But
Bring that
I'm
up.
just doing that to be insidious.
Is this
Don't
is,
take me seriously.
Right.
is this whole is your whole Journey argument again just on that one sand scene?
No,
I know it's
no,
it's like the best
no,
scene in the whole thing.
I like everything about the way that game looked. The entire way through.
The snow sections are original.
Yeah.
I liked
Which
everything
was your
about the way
first
that
mission?
game
Oh, and the last scene's pretty sweet too. I enjoy.
looked. Super colorful, super bright, super fast. Everything looks amazing. It's a tragedy that you're moving as fast through it as you are, so you don't get to fully stop and look. When you're moving to the top of the mountain, everything's going really fast. You're like flying.
The end.
The very end of the game.
That's my 2 cents worth.
The very end of the game was 14 minutes of just slow trudging.
No, I'm talking about after that, Dave.
Oh, after that, okay.
The one where you're flying with everything else. The trudge up.
I
the
just feel
mountains
long
forever.
story short, I feel like calling Dust unique is kind of a bad reason to argue for it.
Well, it's not much unique graphics.
Exactly.
I'm
it's
not-
not.
I'm just saying.
Which is
it's
why I want to hear why else he thinks it's great. That's
Yeah.
why else he's switching his vote away from Asuran to Dust. If you are,
So I'm saying Azura.
you said.
I said
I think you
I
said
said my
Dust.
argument makes me sound like I'm going to Dust,
okay.
but
All right. Gotcha.
Azura
Gotcha.
is still my favorite just because of the textures and
Gotcha.
stuff.
Okay.
Ha! I got my.
My
2
favorite
cents.
thing
Yeah.
about Journey was how it looked. I guess I could try to help you with this one. Zach, you have anything to add? Why Journey should be the winner of this category?
Well, Journey, before Journey, there was no Journey. Didn't know any game that looked like it.
Actually, there was a
Exactly.
Strange
There is no
that
Journey.
Came out in 2010.
Which one?
A Strange Journey.
Strange Journey?
Oh.
It's
Oh,
yeah.
It was strange.
Well, this is a beautiful journey.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful journey.
Beautiful Journey.
Yeah.
I would have played
But
it so hard.
Dust was beautiful. It looked good. However, the characters didn't feel that they were drawn to that kind of. They didn't seem like unique. It kind of reminded me of a Japanese version of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you get the flying
Well,
creature.
Sonic is Japanese.
That is true. Yeah. Dooch.
Okay, people.
So what are we doing?
Okay.
Happy fun time.
I'll go with Journey.
I could.
Okay. All right.
I'm standing firm.
So we now
Although
have
it no
we now
longer
have 3
matters.
Journeys, 1 Dust, and 2 Asuras.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, come on, guys.
Well, I'm gonna switch to Dust.
Suckers.
Thank you.
Perfect Journey.
Alright, you heard it. Zach said he
Nope,
switched.
I'm sticking with Journey.
Okay.
Journey it is.
All right.
Journey.
Journey.
Democracy.
All right. Okay, fine. That was one of the more interesting stalemates we've ever had. All right, graphics artistic, our winner, Journey. Our runners-up, Oscar's Wrath and Dust. All right. So, best boss fights is our next category. We've got fewer nominees for this one. Hopefully this will move a bit more quickly. We've got Binary Domain, Asura's Wrath, Kid Icarus Uprising, The Witcher 2, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2, Dragon's Dogma, Sine Mora, Lollipop Chainsaw, Nintendo Land, and Final Fantasy 13-2. So, what leads?
As I was watching Isaiah, Zach, and Derek put in their nominations for all these, they all said Nintendo Land for boss fights?
Oh yeah, that's
All of us, we even know.
I don't even know. Derek, you should have known.
Oh, I know there's boss fights.
I
but
nominated
I
nominated that game.
I just didn't think they were
You didn't
clever
think
boss
the
fights.
really? You didn't think the Metroid Blast boss fights were clever or interesting?
Which one?
Kraid.
The Kraid fight was not interesting, or
The crane?
Kraid, the giant towering dude that you had to shoot the bombs in the mouth at. No?
A B-bullet.
I shot him in the nose and fired a rocket down his chest.
Wow. Okay.
That's all it
Can't
was.
count on Derek to.
What do you want? That's it. All it was.
All right. That was freaking cool, and you know it.
I thought, okay, at first I thought it was cool because when I was playing a ship, I didn't think I could get a rocket down there, so yet I had help from a friend. I thought
That was me.
Yeah, I thought that was freaking awesome. I was
Right?
like, this is the coolest thing ever. Then I played with Robbie the next time, and I was like, oh, I can shoot a rocket down his nose.
That's-
I'm like, oh, I just beat it by myself.
You have
That
to be
was
able to beat it
easy.
by yourself.
I know, but it was depressingly easy. Even with two people.
No, you
I
were
think it got
playing by
mentioned,
yourself.
so-
Yeah, I was playing by myself.
All right. So anyway, ugh.
I think Nintendo Land got mentioned, so
Yep.
that's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's get Lollipop Chainsaw out of there.
Yeah, they weren't really.
Immediately.
Say
They were not that
bosses.
clever.
They were cool bosses, and just they didn't work very well.
It's
Like there was just
The
like,
Viking, like the Viking guy. Really?
He was cool.
That's- the setting was cool. You're fighting him on a giant Viking warship in the air, surrounded by lightning. Like the setting is cool. The boss fight wasn't.
No, character designs in that game great for the boss fights, but gameplay wise, it's okay.
And blood propulsion at the end of that.
Yeah.
Blood propulsion.
Lollipop didn't make my top 5, but I think the boss fights are better than binaries.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
There's a few binaries that are
Yep.
pretty good.
The binary
The giant-
chandelier octopus boss.
That-
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking
Awesome.
about. That was the coolest one.
Yeah.
How about
that was the coolest one.
How about
Yeah,
Dinosaur?
definitely.
What
I
about
really-
the big roller in the tunnel?
I didn't like it. Is that I
No,
didn't.
I
Dude,
didn't
that
like
one was so annoying.
That was really frustrating. If you hadn't had to shoot the missiles down constantly, that would have been a much better boss fight.
And the last boss fight was not excellent.
No, it was all right.
That's what-
I forgot to mention Resident Evil 6.
I think you were looking at it and said, not Resident Evil 6.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I forgot. I was like, what other game has huge bosses in it? I was like Resident Evil 6, but that was horrible. Keep going.
All right.
You're right.
I'd say we should get rid of Devil Survivor 2 because none of us had the patience or enjoyment with that game to even want to fight any of the bosses.
Bosses were hard.
One of us.
Oh.
Bosses were hard.
When
That's
you
all
get to
I
a
can say.
boss and it's 10 levels higher than you kind of don't want to play that game anymore.
No, that's when you love. That's when you play
That's
it
when
more.
you
The level
crunch, man. Yeah.
and then you go back.
I'm still
Everyone's
grinding.
favorite mechanic, grinding.
Why?
Everyone loves grinding.
Why I nominated best boss for best boss fights is the farther you get into it, they really diversify the gameplay through the bosses and how you play them. Sometimes they have an earthquake attack that'll damage you all, which is real annoying. Other times they'll move around. Like there's this case where this giant dragon shows up and it's biting its head on this other thing, and you have to attack it, and then move somewhere else, and you gotta spread your team out. And it really makes you, it tests your strategy stuff. So I enjoyed that a lot. It definitely won't win collectively, but I think it's better than some of these on here, maybe not. All right, we just got it. The Witcher 2 has 2 boss fights.
Yeah. 2, well, yeah, they have technically
Blood
3.
Dragon one.
I only count 2, though.
Yeah, there were 2 good boss fights.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
We can cut that one out, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I think over the years,
The first one was
like,
great.
through doing this category, you can really see how the industry and game design as a whole is trending away from boss
Yeah,
fights.
definitely.
Because
Oh,
this is a
yeah.
weaker and weaker category every year.
Yeah.
So, I guess, I mean, maybe we should really start, instead of cutting games with weak boss fights, maybe we should actually start right now looking at what the best ones are. Because if we keep going, these aren't that great, and cutting them,
Okay.
we're going to wind up with 0 games on our list pretty fast.
Well, my winner's definitely Dragon's Dogma,
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
That thing was so cool.
because there are a lot of them.
Fighting the Hydra
And they're
monsters.
cool.
Okay.
They were awesome.
So that's one.
Hydra and Chimera are like the coolest
Asura's Wrath
creatures.
in top 3.
Asura's Wrath, every boss is very enjoyable.
I was left in. What a boss.
Really? Which
there,
one?
There
All
needed
of
to
them?
be
There
more
were.
of them.
Yeah, I mean, it sets up for like 7, because Asura gets betrayed. Spoilers. And,
Oh, no.
Yes, fight the 7 deities. I think you have 3, maybe 4 boss fights after that.
Yeah.
So I was actually pretty left in.
Yeah,
It's no God of War.
yeah.
6.
But that might be best.
You
Again,
don't fight
that still
all
might be
those
better than
guys.
some of
No,
the.
you don't.
And you fight several of them multiple times.
Well, I don't count the multiples, but like you fight the evil Hydra thing at the very end,
That's
or whatever
yeah, you fight,
the
what's
evil
its name?
spirit.
The giant thing that's coming out of
The planet.
Oh,
Vlitra.
You fight.
Yeah, Vlitra,
You fight the
yeah.
planet,
I mean, yeah,
Mother
there's
Earth.
that.
The will of the.
and you
Yes.
fight the. I'm terrible with names. The evil guy, the main evil guy.
Deus.
Deus.
You fight Wizen, you fight Deus, you fight Vlitra, you fight...
That guy.
That's Wizen.
Okay. You fight the old guy.
You fight August, so that's 4.
You fight the old guy.
You
His,
don't-
his
you
fleet.
don't
don't,
fight,
not really. I mean,
His
yeah, but
fleet.
that's, you don't, that's not a boss fight,
Sergei.
though. That's...
I
you
fight-
fight, yeah,
You don't fight Sergei, you don't fight Kauro,
and you don't fight the chick,
Olga.
Olga.
Oh.
You don't want to fight her. She's terrible.
She gets taken out.
Yeah.
She gets hers.
So, I mean, it's, yeah, that game, I mean, the boss fights were cool, but, I mean, it still left a bad taste in my mouth, because
Yeah.
you go into that game wanting to take all these guys down. It's like, these guys all turned on me, they betrayed me, let's get them, and then you don't.
But like
You
the
know,
first
you get
boss
some of
fight
it.
took like an hour, and it was great because he was ridiculous. And then the other bosses that you faced were
Weren't
great.
That's ridiculous.
Are you serious?
That
Even like
game-
his sensei, his like his
August is
teacher.
awesome.
August is really awesome.
great.
Yeah, it's really good. But
I found so much enjoyment fighting each of those bosses.
I mean, it's
I think Kid Icarus has to be the top 3.
What was
most
that?
boss
I didn't
fights
get to any of the cool
Yeah.
bosses.
I don't know, serious, right?
I would be okay
Right
with the
through
top
Kid
3
Icarus.
of Dogma, Icarus, and Asura. That's me.
I say
Seems
Seen
odd
more
to me.
over Asura, but whatever.
It's
I can do it.
Asura's number 1
Overdrive.
in my
Zone?
book. Yeah,
Okay.
in my book, because I just like over the top. Because I'm a fan of Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. I love over the top bosses, and in that game, that was all that it was.
Yep.
Over the top.
The over the topper.
Yeah.
I agree. I have to go proxy.
So Asura, Kid Icarus, Dragon's Dogma. Top 3. Anybody?
I'll go with that.
Anybody want to put something else in there? Take something out?
I think it's
Great. All those 3 have great bosses, especially Kid Icarus.
All right. Okay. Well, we're down to 3.
Dragon's Dogma.
Yep.
DD.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
Hydra starts sets the pace and continues from
I guess we got a winner.
Griffins, Chimeras, Giant Beasts.
Chimeras are pretty cool in
Every
that game.
mythological creature you want to take down.
Can you fight Gorgons in that game?
There's a
Gorgons?
giant piece that had giant eyeball snakes on its head. It was very difficult.
Does it turn you to stone?
Yes.
Yes.
Classic.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's classical D&D.
Has your life. Yes.
All right. So we're good. Winner is Dragon's Dogma. Runners up of Asura's Wrath and Kid Icarus Uprising.
Bingo.
So our next category, Best Multiplayer. We've already got our list of nominees. Yet again, is a category with 15 nominees. They are Mass Effect 3, Borderlands 2, Journey, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Persona 4 Arena, Halo 4, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Armored Core 5, Assassin's Creed 3, Nintendo Land, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, New Super Mario Bros. U, Zombie U, Spelunky, and Dead or Alive 5. This is going to be an interesting category because there's a pretty clear case for the winner, Nintendo.
Agreed.
Nintendo Land, our winner for best multiplayer.
It's just a massive party.
What is our so Nintendo Land is our winner. What are our two runners up?
Mass Effect 3.
Agreed.
Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2.
Okay,
There we go.
hold on. Nope. Let's hold it. Hold it. Done.
I agree.
Nope.
Done.
Borderlands 2.
Okay, I'm gonna go through this and I'm gonna announce some things I want to cut.
Okay.
Let's see if anybody disagrees. I want to cut Halo 4.
Yes,
It's Halo 4 meets Call of Duty, and I don't think that really is a good marriage at all.
it wasn't.
I'm going to cut Armored Core 5. I nominated that personally. I nominated it because its multiplayer is extremely interesting. There's a persistent online territory control mode, which you don't see happen on consoles as much.
You don't see mech
The fact that
games.
it's, and you don't see mech games very often, so it seems to execute that really well.
No
I
one
couldn't
played
do it
hybrid.
myself. No one played hybrid yet. But I think that, I mean, at least I wanted to mention it because of what it does.
Wasn't it free?
That's pretty tough. I want to cut Assassin's Creed 3.
It's not really top 3.
No,
Yeah,
not top
I
3.
do like it a lot more than most of these. That's good.
Okay, well, we'll
We're
keep
getting there.
moving. Let's see. I want to cut Zombie U.
All right. Yeah.
It's not on amazing multiplayer.
I want to cut Dead or Alive 5. It's not going to make top 3. Well, okay. Well, wait. Okay, Derek. For the record, Derek is making a frowny face.
I am.
I want to cut Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One in the Chamber's fun.
But so the only reason why I like it is because what Wii U can do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
And Zombies Zero.
Okay.
Zombies so hard.
All right. Nintendo Land's already over there, so.
Think Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yes. I'd rather have P4A or DOA 5 over it. I want to cut New Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
like what it
interesting.
does.
I like it a lot.
It is
It's
interesting.
really cool.
And boost mode's
Yeah.
really
It makes
cool.
boost mode. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Like just having one person boost mode, like for 2 players.
Oh, it's a
It's
blast.
a way better experience than
Definitely.
having 2 actual players.
That is the way I beat. That's the way I beat the game. Derek tried to help.
I was way better at the block than trying to jump. I will say it. I'm horrible at jumping.
All right.
I'm horrible at platforming.
I want to cut PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
I'll cut DOA 5.
It's a
before
good
it.
party
Yeah.
game, but all in all, it's not that great.
I
I'd
was.
also say it over Spelunky.
Huh?
I'd probably say it over Spelunky.
Nope. I would disagree, and I think that's because of the experience that the three of us had.
We did have. That was really awesome.
How awesome was that?
I really liked that a lot.
Yeah. Derek, Isaiah, and I spent a lot of time trying to beat that game.
Mostly
We got
did.
It was a
pretty
blast.
close,
We got
actually.
very close. Yeah, we got very close.
I threw bombs a lot.
But mostly did.
Yeah. Oh, was that? We did all four of us get to
Yeah.
play it at one point?
I think you came over to our house and we played 3. Me, Derek, and you.
Okay, and I know the three of us played it at one
Yeah.
point too. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun. I
It's tough.
don't think I fully filled out.
So one of your top
multiplayer.
3?
It would probably be in my top 3. Yeah, but I don't think that sentiment's going to carry to this half of the table as much. Pointing to Alex and Dave.
It wouldn't be.
Not so much.
Dave, are you
Yeah.
playing VLR?
No.
Put it up.
What are you talking about? I wasn't going to say anything.
I mean, I can't blame
I know
you.
you didn't.
I know this isn't the most stimulating category, but
I love multiplayer.
I really have
So
no
stimulating.
opinion on multiplayer
Okay.
this
Let's-
year.
um,
I'm going to bring up Borderlands 2, because Borderlands 2 was one of my favorite top games of the year. Meant to play with multiplayer.
It's meant for co-op.
Single player, it's not as fun. Playing with multiplayer, you get more
I would go
enemies,
as far to say
chaos.
single player, it's not fun.
It's
That's what I
not
said
fun.
about the first.
I loved single
I
player.
played 40 hours single player in the first game. I thought Borderlands 2 was unplayable single player, which is why I haven't finished it.
Because you then play multiplayer for
Yeah, and then you go back to
No,
single player.
I feel like
this is not
from a
fun.
design
Yeah.
perspective, that game is broken single player. From a basic
It's-
enemy design perspective, that game is broken single player.
How so?
Enemy design.
Enemy design?
Some enemies are absolutely
I will-
the depth of, like, the pinnacle of frustration when you're single player. Threshers, specifically wormhole threshers, nearly impossible to deal with single player because you're facing against 8 of them, and all of a sudden, you, the only person shooting bullets, are sucked towards one thing.
Melee.
Which means you are now getting hit from 8 different directions while getting pulled in one, and it's nearly impossible to deal with on your own.
That's your zero.
The stalkers, also nearly impossible
Yeah, they're
single
big.
player because they're teleporting all over the place. You can't see them unless you're zero and use your power, which I did a couple times. I had to do that, but like it's nearly impossible to take out a crowd of stalkers because they're invisible half the time, attacking you all of the time.
Rocket
Now, did you ever play the DLC
Broken.
Age of Booty?
No.
All right. There's an enemy that's worse than those.
Well, I'm not saying they're the worst ever, but I'm
Maybe
saying
it's worse than
that
those.
like all I'm saying is that, and this is going to lead really well into another our personal categories later, but yeah. So Borderlands 2 broken single player.
Great
which is-
Oh, yes, it is. I played with Isaiah
It is a
and
great
his
multiplayer
friends.
game. It is. That's why
That's why.
I
awesome
agree. I
multiplayer.
agree. I agree that it's in our top 3,
You too?
which means I agree that it is one of our runners up.
All right, are we good with that?
Yep.
All right, 2 down.
So
Now, Mass Effect 3, Persona 4, Arena, Assassin's Creed 3.
Dead or Alive 5's not up there.
No.
It's
so
awesome. But
Journey.
DOA 5's gone.
DOA 5 done.
P4A.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good with
P4A.
that.
It's broken now because of.
P4A is just as much fun to play multiplayer as DOA 5.
People
I mean,
just-
it
people
depends on
just-
whether you have a.
People just sprint around. in
But I
AC3.
mean, fundamentally they're the same.
I have it over All Stars. Big time.
I would too.
Oh, All-Stars
Yeah,
is
that's
already
I
gone.
do
All-Stars
too.
is
Yeah,
gone.
All
It's
Stars
not
is
top
gone.
3 though, yeah.
Okay. Now I know Alex is saying ME3.
Isaiah said it first.
Okay, I know Isaiah, and you were counting on Isaiah saying it.
See, I never played ME3.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me lay down cases for Journey and Spelunky, and if nobody goes for it, Mass Effect 3 it is. I don't have a huge problem with it, Mass Effect 3. I would have the other two above it. Okay, I'll say it. I'll talk about Spelunky, and that's something that the 4 of us especially have experienced a lot. I think we played it together a little. No, we never played it together.
Yeah, I played with my brothers and we just kept killing each other.
See,
Yeah,
that's-
it's frustrating that way.
it can be entertaining to do that. But when you work, like, when you try to get a group of people working together in that game, like the 4 of us did, like, the spirit of, like, the amount of cooperation necessary, the amount of teamwork, the amount of, like, working together you have to do, making sure that somebody doesn't get too far ahead of the group, wisely using your resources among the 4 of you so nobody runs out and anybody can get out of the jam at any time, and trying to be careful enough, but not too careful that you get mauled by the ghost that shows up after a specific amount of time. The frantic nature of it, combined with how methodical and how slow you have to be, trying to get a group like that to work together, and actually, in our cases, almost completely succeeding in getting to the final boss of that game. Like, we made it halfway through the 4th world, and then we finally got our first taste. It's like, man, we were almost at the end in that death message. It was like, oh, we got to keep going.
Yeah,
Like,
we got that close again.
the amount of yeah, and we never got that far again. But like the difficulty mixed with just the like getting a group of people together in a room to play that together, it's an absolutely awesome experience, and it's one that I don't think was really replicated by anything else that came out this year.
Yeah, I
So-
definitely think multiplayer is the way to play that game for sure.
I mean, I played a ton of it single player, but
you
it's
have
so
to play
much more
single
fun.
And it's
That's
so.
the problem.
Can you get online people to play with you?
No,
There's no online
That-
at all.
that's-
to my knowledge, there's
That's
no
the downfall of that right there.
Is
for
it? How well can you? How well do you think we would have been working together if we were all in separate rooms?
Well,
across
no,
that
no,
terrible-
I meant like that's the
Plus,
way-
add in performance issues like lag.
No, I'm just talking. No, it's like Nintendo Land, I guess, because you have to have friends in that room to play with you. That make it fun.
I had a ton of fun playing Spelunky on my
It's
own.
not bad.
It's not a bad thing. No. I'm not saying a bad thing. No. I'm not saying it's a horrible. It's not horrible multiplayer. I'm just saying it's hard to get that group of people to play with you.
It's
All the
so
time.
we're punishing. So like I mean, so you're saying it's not as good at multiplayer because to play at multiplayer you have to have multiple people.
No, like ME3 I can play online with people.
ME3 is a completely different type of game.
It is.
Like it's
Right.
it's not based on cooperation. It's as much. It's not like as
Not
tight.
hard.
It's yeah. I'm like it doesn't rely as much at like second to second cooperation and communication.
I guess
Like
I mean,
on Yeah,
Compared
I
to
mean,
Spelunky, probably not. But
that's the comparison. I know I'm not fully agreeing with what I'm saying, but like compared to Spelunky, it's,
I guess I'm not saying it correctly. Nintendo Land and Spelunky kind of have the same downfall to it. It's like it's an
Nintendo
awesome.
Land has no downfall.
Nope.
Except when you're in a room by yourself, and you have to have.
Nintendo,
Then you
Nintendo
play
Land's
them on-
not designed to
Then
be
you play
played
the
by
5 or 6 single player games.
There are 9 games you can play single player.
There you go.
But
All
Again,
he's saying
you can't play
is
Donkey
Mass
Kong
Effect
multiplayer.
3, you can turn it on anytime and have a fantastic multiplayer experience.
Well,
All the
time,
I disagree, but
anytime
okay.
you want to.
that's it's not saying
early in the morning.
I'm
if
not-
if you enjoy that style of game in a multiplayer setting, yes, that's
right.
true.
That's just
Yes.
the cons of Nintendo Land and Spelunky's multiplayer.
Again,
It's-
no cons for Nintendo. Just
Yeah. Agreed. So has my argument about I've said about everything I can.
Well,
for
I'm not
Spelunky.
saying it's single player. I'm just saying multiplayer.
I know. but-
Okay.
Yeah.
No sense.
So the root of your problem is it's not online.
Yes.
Okay. Has my argument
Yes.
about Spelunky swayed anyone? Anybody think Spelunky should be our third game,
I still.
other than me now? I'll talk about Journey. Okay. Journey is one of the best multiplayer games of the year for doing this. I think probably has more of a place in innovative and original, which is where I'm going to bring this up again. So here's a preview. Journey does something with multiplayer that is found. To my knowledge, I mean, there may be a game that's done something like that before. I've never played anything like its multiplayer. The spirit of cooperation, again, I like co-op stuff, but the way you interact with just a stranger, somebody you've never played with before, somebody you can't voice chat with, somebody you can't directly communicate with, working together to solve these puzzles and progress forward, working together, helping each other find power-ups and pickups and the collectibles of the game. It does something completely unique with interaction on a fundamental level between people in a multiplayer game. It really breaks my heart that you didn't have that experience with it, Dave. It really is a bummer that you couldn't play it multiplayer. But it does something completely different and does it really well again. And I think it does. Yeah, multiplayer is really good, but it is extremely different. It's extremely unique, and it does what it does very well. And I haven't had an experience like that, where you're immediately tied to someone else and you want to help them succeed as much as you want to succeed yourself. But
And I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Brock. And like you said, for innovative original, it's
Yep.
definitely a big contender for that.
Yeah.
And my brain thinks Journey should be one of our 3 here, but my heart says Mass Effect.
Your heart says Mass Effect because it's a third-person online shooter.
Because I played it so much, and I don't play anything online except Mass Effect.
Yeah, Mass Effect, it just really did blow me away. I was expecting to think it was just going to be tacked on, terrible, like I was expecting just to hate Mass Effect's multiplayer. But like the amount of cooperation you need for like the gold levels, like just all the different classes, the leveling up, the persistent characters, like all the RPG aspects applied to it, like so many different powers that weren't even in the game, like all the different classes they've been releasing. Like there's still competitiveness to it too, because you still wanted to have like the highest score. So like each game you had the both competitive and cooperative aspects of it. Man, I played that a lot. Probably.
You spend money on it, which I feel dirty. No, I rationalized it, but every time they released free multiplayer DLC, I bought some stuff to just.
Yeah, because they still support it. Like every weekend, there's new goals. Like you get bonus. There's objectives, like both for your personal ones and global objectives. Still are releasing new DLC for it. It's really, really good. New levels.
It's.
I mean, man, if you play on the new Platinum difficulty,
Okay.
oh my gosh, it's so fun. Like, because you fight all the big enemies from every army.
Oh, wow.
So right from the very beginning, you have the biggest ones of the army you're facing. So you have like the Banshees, and then the Atlases come in.
Oh, wow.
Like you fight everything.
That doesn't
It's
sound
ridiculous.
fun at all. The second you said there were Banshees, it's like, I'm never playing that ever. Man, okay. I said what I wanted to say about Journey and Spelunky. If nobody wants to go with me on that, that's fine. Mass Effect 3 is still great. I still feel like we're as impressed with it as we are because we all expected it to suck. but
Yep.
That has something.
it's
Yep.
really low expectations and then delivering a good experience. I feel
Even
like
if it was
that's
just alright, I wouldn't have really played it as much as I did.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really blew me away.
I mean, okay. All right. So I guess, what's everybody thinking? What's our third game? Alex?
Mass Effect.
Dave?
Yeah, Mass Effect.
I'm
Zach?
saying Spelunky because that's the only game I played in this 3.
Yeah,
Mass
Derek?
Effect 3.
I'm actually not
Mass
trying to
Effect.
check myself.
It's awesome.
All right. Mass Effect 3 is our third game. So our best multiplayer award of the year goes to Nintendo Land with runners-up Borderlands 2 and Mass Effect 3.
It's
All right.
mean.
Our next category.
Scary.
Okay, that's not going to make any sense to anybody else at all.
Thanks.
Sorry. we need a countdown.
He said it was starting.
I said, yeah. Okay.
Twice.
Anyway, our next category, most surprisingly good. Maybe our audience is most surprised we've been pausing between every category. This is a personal award, so we're not going to go around and argue about what game surprised person X the
No, Brock,
most.
your expectations were this. So this is why this game is so much more surprisingly good.
It seems rather asinine to argue this between a group. So everybody's
Yeah.
going to name a couple games they were really surprised by this year. We'll start not with me. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Alex wants to go first.
Alex, you got this.
I was deeply surprised by Cine Mora, and that's largely due to how it was original and innovative in a genre that is so old. That continued to surprise me over and over again with its time-bending mechanics and its upgrade system, where it was a very, very pleasant surprise of the year. Hitman Absolution surprised me. I had played some of Blood Money, but my disc ended up being scratched and I couldn't finish it earlier this year, unfortunately. But Absolution grabbed me in a way that I did not expect it to at all, especially in this year, just bogged down stealth games. It was also one of the last ones I played, and it still impressed me quite a bit. I Am Alive is another game that was very surprisingly good for me. It took a third-person platforming genre that I really disliked and added a really tense stamina bar to it that really surprised me. Made that game and genre much better than I had expected it to be. Far Cry 3 is another one that I found to be surprisingly good after Far Cry 2 being so-so. Far Cry 3 looked good, sounded good, and it was really fun. The crafting and hunting mechanics were really impressive, and that I was surprised with how much that grabbed me. But my winner for this category is The Darkness 2. I played Darkness 1 right before it, so having that direct comparison really made The Darkness 2 stand out a lot. The first Darkness game was very dark and gritty in its feel, and The Darkness 2 was more of a comic book design, and it was really bright and incredibly fun, visceral, and violent versus the first one, which I found to be a little boring, honestly. And then the story really blew me away, and that's why it was my most surprising game of the year.
All right. Dave, most surprisingly good.
Okay. There were two games, actually, that kind of surprised me because they were good. Imagine that. The reason why these two games surprised me was they're both genres that I don't really play, and they actually got me to step out of my little niche. One of them was Hotline Miami. It's normally I don't like games that are aggressive. Like I like to as far as shooting games, running and gunning is what I mean. I enjoy a more.
Did you tend to play the sniper?
I didn't. But I don't know. There was something about Hotline Miami that just kept me going back to it, and it was just. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I don't really know how to explain why. Yeah. And then the game that surprised me the most was Dust, because again, I don't play 2D platformers at all. I don't like them, I can't get into them, but Dust sucked me in, and I connected with it. And so that was the most surprisingly good game for me.
All right.
Dust.
Excellent. Zach?
All right, I have 3 games that were most surprisingly good. First one on my list is Nintendo Land.
Okay.
When that was released to E3 last year,
Yeah, it wasn't Nintendo. That was what they're banking their whole conference on. Was
yeah, I looked at it and I was like, this is not going to be good. They're going to come out with this Wii U and it's going to fall flat on its face. But as soon as we started it up and started playing that game, I was hooked. It was a really good game, good multiplayer. Graphics looked actually really a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
Yep.
And so that surprised me. The second game is Unfinished Swan. That came out for PSN exclusive to this year. I thought it was just going to be a kid's game, and it kind of is. However, it's so good.
It is.
Just the music, sound effects, and how you play each puzzle. Every chapter feels like a different game, and that's always a good feeling to it. And the most surprisingly good game was Tokyo Jungle, another DLC game.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I would say a game where you play as a post-apocalyptic Tokyo, and you play animals. That's always fun, to be a Pomeranian trying to run away from a tiger or a lion, or try to face
trying
it.
to kill a tiger.
Yeah.
As a Pomeranian, that's not always a question.
That game really surprised me because I didn't think it'd be anything.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
the game that most surprised me, actually, really, I played the first couple games. It was actually Transformers: Fall of Cybertron, actually, because I played the first PlayStation 2 one. It was horrible. So I was kind of looking down on Transformer games, and this one came out. It got really high reviews, and it did alright. It got fairly good reviews. I tried the demo, and I was blown away right off the bat, and I was like, Zachary, you need to get this game. You need to get this game. It was so cool. And the boss fights, everything about that game was just it was just of epic proportions to whatever Transformer game I've ever played. Like, even the ones that for the movies were just horrible, I felt. Like, the last one was decent, but nothing compared to this. It was just a completely different monster.
All right. Excellent. Isaiah.
Alright, I've got 3. Halo 4 actually surprised me a lot.
Yeah. All right.
Because I played Halo 3, think that was good. I started Reach, couldn't really finish it. Well, I was 0 excited for Halo 4. Like, Marcus showed, and I was like, okay. But it turned out to be really, really awesome.
Because we played on Veteran.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I played
Legendary.
it,
Legendary.
Legendary.
I don't know.
That was my only play.
There you go.
Being on
That's what
Legendary. Next one, actually, was Nintendo Land. Yeah, I saw that at E3 and I just scratched my head. Like, they showed off Luigi's Mansion, which I thought was a weird choice because that one doesn't really make very much sense at all looking at it. Cause it's all about the rumbling and I don't know. So that, man, yeah, from the first time I played that, it's just like, wow, this really feels like something new and awesome. And my biggest, most surprisingly good game is The Walking Dead. Because before it actually came out, like, I had never really, like, finished, like, one of their games before.
Was it your first Telltale game?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, it wasn't really. I tried Strong Bad.
Okay.
Got 2 episodes into that. I tried 1 episode of Sam and Max. Couldn't really
Those
finish
are
it.
really hard.
Those are
Yeah.
glitchy. They're glitchy
But
too.
they're like, that's just the reports were very poor.
So
Well, I mean,
yeah, and then
Telltale-
they'd been coming off of Jurassic Park, which was
Oh,
Atrocious.
terrible, and then they've been working on Back to the Future too, which was I don't know, everything of it's
And
just
Monkey
it's
Island.
decent.
Jurassic Park.
So like I didn't have any kind of high hopes at all for Walking Dead, which just completely blew me out of the water with its intense grippingness.
Gripping.
It's a good way to say it.
But yeah, so that was my most surprisingly good game of the year overall.
I have 4 games to talk about for most surprisingly good. First, I'd like to go back and invoke what Alex was saying about The Darkness 2. I watched Alex play a good portion of the original The Darkness, and holy crap, that, oh.
It's not aged well.
No. I mean, it probably would have been challenging to play at the time. I was not really impressed by anything that game did. I don't know, it looked like a struggle to play, and it didn't really impress me in any way. And then I started The Darkness 2, which is gorgeous and plays extraordinarily well and sounds awesome. The voice acting's great. The story is absolutely crazy. That game was much more enjoyable than I expected it to be. It took back before it came out, the idea of quad wielding was touted by a lot of people, and it really does feel as though you are wielding 4 very unique weapons most of the time, because you can dual wield with your hands, and then you've got tentacles coming out of your back. The left one usually grabs things, the right one you can use as a melee to slash in any direction you want. And it really felt as though you had this amazing arsenal of abilities and weapons at your disposal at any given time. And the amount of variety, the things you can do with those, is really surprising. While the enemy design isn't that varied over the course of the game, and the ones that they tend to introduce at the end of the game are more annoying than anything, it still was a blast to play, which is far more than I was expecting of The Darkness 2. So it gets a mention for that. The next two I'll talk about kind of in broad strokes and together. Dead or Alive 5 and Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I am no fighting game fan. Usually it takes me way too much effort to get into them, that by the time I do finally start having some success, I've been utterly eclipsed by everyone that I'm playing it with. I have no chance of winning, and it's just not fun for me. Dead or Alive 5, however, especially over Street Fighter Cross Tekken, was a blast to just jump in and start playing. That game has depth to it, but it's also accessible and friendly in a way that most fighting games that are coming out nowadays aren't. So jumping in and having a good deal of fun with Dead or Alive 5 was really great. So that was enjoyable. And Street Fighter Cross Tekken was just far better than I expected it to be, both on a level of presentation and with its ability to be picked up and played. It wasn't quite as hard to use as some other Street Fighter experiences I've had. And playing as characters from both of those series was pretty entertaining. My winner for most surprisingly good, though, was also The Walking Dead. Kind of jealous that Isaiah beat me to it. I am no fan of point-and-click adventure games. I'd had to watch Alex and Dave especially play through the Sam & Max games, and that is the exact antithesis of what I want in the gaming experience. Buggy as all get out, and having to try to follow the developer's logic to an absurd degree. Did not seem enjoyable whatsoever, but The Walking Dead took what is the idea of point-and-click adventure, turned it on its head, got rid of a bunch of got rid of object combination puzzles and crazy obtuse stuff like that, and focused entirely on what can make those games enjoyable in the first place, which is character and story, and in this case, choice. And it executes those to such a fantastic degree that even though I was laughing my way through episode 1, I was crying my way through episode 5. So it is my candidate for most surprisingly good game of 2012. Moving straight on to most addictive game of 2012. This again is personal as well. Anybody want to start with that?
I can start. All right. I have 2 games for most addictive, because a lot of the games I played this year are just like stories driven, so I don't really play them a lot. But 2 most addictive games for me was Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 I played for many hours, ranking a lot of characters up over 40 levels. Played with a lot of friends, and played that usually every single day for a good solid month. So Borderlands 2 was that.
Okay, can we pause
Oh,
real quick?
yes.
Brock, can you read? Did everyone write down? Go ahead.
All right, and my most addictive game of this year was Tokyo Jungle.
Oh, yeah.
As of right now, I want
Wow.
to play more.
Huh.
I want to be more animals. You can
Yeah,
unlock
play
new
some
animals.
Tokyo
I do. It's the fact of just finding areas, trying to eat your way, and trying to decrease your toxicity, mate with the person, make new generation of animals. It was, with that balance of mechanics, it was just fun arcade game to play.
Oh, yeah.
I played it, 3 times in a row last night?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. And I want to play more.
Definitely.
All right. Excellent. Who's next?
All right. My most addicting game actually this year is Nintendo Land. Surprisingly enough, after I figured out you can get a gold star on Adventureland, made me want to go, oh my gosh, I gotta get them all. So of course, I strictly played through it. I did. So I played through every single one to get those gold stars. And I was kind of depressed of what you get, but, you know, get what you get.
What is it you get?
Credits. You get credits and you shoot stars. That's all you do.
It's really pretty, actually. You get fireworks. It's really cool. Get a
I'm about to say
fireworks.
he'll gloat it up, but you know, I was waiting for a cool prize that you can like show off, but just credits.
Interesting.
But I have all gold stars. Yeah,
Sure. Take that.
take that.
Everyone.
A lot of games I played by myself actually, just to get it, like Mario Chase. I don't feel happy about that, but you know.
Oh, that's lame.
I know. Yeah.
All the competitive ones, just set up a
Yep.
dummy player and be like,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
I caught you in
Yep.
5 seconds.
Yep, 2
Mwah.
controllers. That's how I got all my stamps too. I cheated. I had to do something for that like good 2 hours of playing by myself.
You are despicable.
Despicable me. Yep.
That you won?
Yep, that's my addictive.
I can go next. All right. I want to call out 2 games that well, one of which we may talk about later. The other one probably not as much. The first game I want to talk about is FTL, Faster Than Light. All right. Yeah, that game is a very unique hybrid of a roguelike in that when you die, you're done, and a hardcore space flight sim in that you are managing power to shields, weapons, doors, things like that. Oxygen. Yep. The way you progress through that game is really interesting. It presents you with a series of scenarios and usually gives you a simple choice. Hey, there's a semi-abandoned space station. Do we send a crew to explore it and try to bring back resources or see if there's anybody there, or do we skip it? And it's a really interesting balance of risk and reward.
What game is this?
FTL, Faster Than Light. It's really cool. That game for a while for me was really addicting because you want to get to the end, you want to see how far you can go. So like there was this constant feedback loop. Okay, I made it this far. I used this kind of tactic. I need to do that. I need to change this. Work this different way. Try to get this type of weapon, this type of power up. You keep going. You keep getting better, and then you get to the end, and then you get stopped. You get crushed, and then that's where that game ended for me. But until that point, it was easily one of the most addicting games of 2012.
Definitely.
The most addicting game for me in 2012 was almost Super Hexagon. Super Hexagon. Yeah, I played the original computer game, like the original Flash game called Hexagon. You can find it. Google search Hexagon game. That'll give you a good idea of what you're looking at in Super Hexagon. Except regular Hexagon is much simpler. I'll show you that after we're done. Derek looks very confused.
These games are made up, I swear.
It's on your list. That game is just pure reflex, pure intuition, pure split-second decision, and with absolutely fantastic music. It is made to be as addicting as possible and to be replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed. Just that constant sense of improvement, which I find so valuable in gaming. It's a great source of that. So a lot of the times it's like, yeah, I should be playing these other games. What I want to play is Super Hexagon. Luckily, most of the time I quelled those feelings to prepare for Game of the Year. But Super Hexagon's great. It's on Steam or iOS. iOS it's like $1. Steam it's like $3. It's really great. It's really cheap. It's really awesome. Look it up. But that's my most addictive game that you guys have played.
So, you guys in?
I haven't waited either.
3.
Ready to go, Dave?
Might as well.
Alright.
Okay, there were 2 games that I want to mention. First one that really sucked me in was Alan Wake's American Nightmare.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely loved Alan Wake. And then the fact that I had DLC, it just... What? You look
Keep
very
going.
confused.
It's all right. Keep going.
Okay. I just got confused
Sorry,
looks
that
from
was
3
my
different
fault.
people. I absolutely loved Alan Wake, so the fact that I was able to go back into that world and get some more content, I love it. I love it. The atmosphere, the gameplay, everything about Alan Wake just sucks me in. And so I actually think I beat American Nightmare in one sitting. That's how
impressive. It's a good way to
Yeah,
put it.
I beat it in one sitting. But the game actually that was most addictive to me this year was Kingdom of Amalur. I say that because it's a very easy game to get stalled out on and just get burnout because there's so much
I
content.
told you not to do all the side quests.
There's so much content. Well, you know me, I'm an uber completionist when it comes to RPGs. And the fact that game just has so much to do, I can't stop. I had a save game that ran me, I was at about 62 hours. And then my hard drive crashed.
Oh, really?
So I lost all of my save data. I started over. And I'm now at about 75 hours on this playthrough, and I still have not beaten the main quest line. And I'm still going.
Insane.
It is very insane, yes, I'll give you that, but it's also addictive.
Hey, that's
Testament
great.
to the quality.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's just a shame that company doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Cast in the dark shit.
I bet the MMO is
We don't get a
good.
middle chapter.
But yeah,
Oh my god.
And
It's
Lord.
probably a good thing.
I think
that
out into that world. Oh my
Probably a
god.
good thing for Dave that the
And
MMO
Lord.
didn't come out.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
But yeah, interesting. That's very good. Very good pick.
Yes. I'll go next. Most addictive, I'm going to have to nominate FTL, Faster Than Light. It's like Oregon Trail in space.
Oh, that's a really good way to
Most
describe it.
simply, probably. And so there is just that, there's so many permutations to try, and you're like, oh, next time I got to do this. What happens if I have the doors? It makes it hard for enemies to get in, and all this different stuff you can do. And I played that game for just hours and hours, and it was right in the middle of when I was working on my papers. Oh, that was not good. Yeah, that was the game that caused me the most trouble at school this year. Was FTL. But extremely addictive, and had a similar experience with Brock. You get to the end, and it's like, and it would have been as bad, but I beat the flagship once, and it's like, oh, you got to do it again with all his health back, and I'm almost destroyed. Oh,
The fact that you beat it once is jaw dropping to me. I bow to you and your FTL skill because holy crap!
yeah. But I had to play it again. I was like, man, I don't know how I was sitting right now.
Yeah.
And there's a timer on it, so you can't really go back and get healed in time. It's just frustrating. But the game is really fun and really addictive before then. Another game I'm going to nominate is Hotline Miami. Similar to how Brock was describing Super Hexagon. It just, you die and you restart, you die and you restart, and the music is just pump and pump. It's like, okay, now I'm going to kill these dudes, and then you die again, and then you restart, and you have to kill the dudes in the same order every time. And then it's almost like you're insane, because you're just doing the exact same thing and expecting different results. But I keep doing it, and I keep doing it.
That's a quote from Far Cry 3.
It is a cool.
What does that guy know?
Everything.
That game is so addictive, and I really like it. Next, I'm going to nominate Mass Effect 3 for its multiplayer and for the story, of course. I couldn't stop playing that game once I started it. As far as the story goes, I was surprised with how addictive the multiplayer was and how much it actually did milk out of me as far as money. Next thing I'm going to mention is Virtue's Last Reward. The narrative in that game really does not relent whatsoever. Once you start it, it is extremely difficult to put down. Do I really have to go to sleep? Do I really have to go to class? Do I have to eat? No, probably not. But my most addictive game of the year was Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2. And that was largely due to it improving so vastly upon the original Devil Survivor, and the sweet combination of its RPG and strategy mechanics really just dig into my brain and won't let me stop playing that game. It's really addictive in its challenge and its excellent gameplay mechanics. And the story that they added made it even more addicting, because I wanted to even get to the next story stuff and advance the character plots that they have going through the game, similar to the Persona games, which is my main draw of the Persona games. But in this game, I already wanted to play the game for its core combat, unlike the Persona games. So Devil Survivor 2 was my most addictive game of 2010.
Excellent. All right. So we've heard from everybody on most surprisingly good, most addictive.
Isaiah's gotta go.
Oh no! Wait, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had something good for Isaiah. My mistake.
That's all right.
Maybe I'll edit that out. I'll make myself look less dumb. Go ahead. Sorry, my mistake.
See, now it'll look better if you don't,
Yeah.
Right.
because you say, maybe I should edit it out. That's what.
All right.
Anyway, Isaiah.
Played a lot of Nintendo Land with my family. That was really awesome. Really, really, really enjoyed that a lot. I'm gonna give a nod to a game I haven't played yet.
Okay.
Virtue's Last Reward.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't. I couldn't put that game down. So this game scares me a lot. I know once I started.
Way longer.
Yeah, that's
Way longer.
yeah. And then my most addictive part was Mass Effect 3, because I played it a lot. I played a lot with Michael, which was really cool. Anytime he had internet, it wasn't that often. He babysat or dog sat for, so I'd play with him. But just really, really addictive, really fun. Trying to unlock the new bosses, just the random nature of unlocking upgrades,
It's
new
mean,
things.
but so effective.
I mean, but it made you just keep wanting to play.
I gotta get the new stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really brilliant at keeping you playing
Yeah.
and paying.
Yep.
Dang, man.
Yep.
For a game you already bought. So it's not even
Ding.
free to play. Ah.
Oh, sure
and
it is.
And on
Sure
360,
it is.
you're already paying for that.
Yeah.
You don't-
Although I
you don't
didn't
have to
actually
pay
pay
for
for
stuff.
any of Mass Effect.
Okay.
I didn't pay for Mass Effect 3 multiplayer at all.
Okay. Well, you bought Mass Effect 3.
Right,
Well-
but I didn't pay any extra for any of the packs.
Okay, wow.
I just completely earned it in game currency. And once you got playing on gold, like on levels, like pretty much like one game would unlock you, or like a couple games to get your pack. So it didn't take that long to start unlocking stuff.
Oh, okay. So it gives you more if you play on higher.
Oh, tons
Yeah,
more.
definitely.
Cool. Okay.
Like double,
All
actually.
right, that's better, I guess.
I'm pretty sure it is double
Okay.
or
Alright.
more.
Alright. So now I think we've completed
Yeah.
most of it.
Oh,
Most surprisingly good. Again, apologies to Isaiah. This concludes part one of day one of our Game of the Year proceedings. So please be sure to move on to part two, which we're about to record about 5 minutes from when you're hearing when we're recording this. We'll be back with our group decision on best atmosphere, most funny and ridiculous, personal biggest disappointment, the best Nintendo Land game, the best episode of The Walking Dead, and then maybe we'll end part two with the bloodbath that will be best music of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So that's coming to you next on the Bad Gaming Podcast.